Standing at the 29th Street Mall in Boulder, there seems to be no reason to believe that fiscal cliff debates have taken the jingle out of our holiday bells. Yet despite the seasonal bustle at retail hotspots like this one, there's worry in the White House that this Grinch-like stalemate is stealing Christmas. Today is National Coming Out Day, and the Gay, Lesbian, Transgender, and Queer Resource Center tells us what it's all about. NASPA also says that even though recreational sports are one of the most beneficial social outlets for students, they aren't recognized as such. The reason they give is that recreational sports practitioners have not successfully articulated the social importance of intramurals. Students have decided to gather on the field outside of Duane Physics Building instead of Norling Quad due to CU's efforts to keep them off. It's the holiday season, and joy is all around. But for many Americans, the price tag of merry spirits is a little steep.
I get stressed easily, especially since it's in December when there are finals already, so on top of that I have no money.
And it's not just college students that feel financial pressure around the holidays. Overspending on Christmas is a bit of an American tradition. According to a poll from the American Psychological Association, about 8 out of 10 Americans anticipate stress during the holiday season due to financial strains.
I hate seeing people's, the looks on their faces if it's a gift that they don't like, and it's just hard to get a gift that will fit that expectation with the budget that I have.
A Gallup poll predicted in November that Americans will spend an average of $770 on Christmas gifts, a modest increase in spending from previous years following the recession.
It's kind of like permission to do a number of things. It's permission to overspend, it's permission to overeat, because it comes once a year and it gives people like a license to splurge where they don't have that the rest of the year.
The National Retail Federation also predicted an increase from last year, but is now worried that the looming fiscal cliff is putting even more pressure on Americans, causing them to cut back on Christmas spending. Standing at the 29th Street Mall in Boulder, there seems to be no reason to believe that fiscal cliff debates have taken the jingle out of our holiday bells. Yet despite the seasonal bustle at retail hotspots like this one, there's worry in the White House that this Grinch-like stalemate is stealing Christmas. President Obama worries that the prospect of tax increases in the new year is threatening our holiday season.
That's sort of like the lump of coal you get for Christmas. That's a Scrooge Christmas.
The White House is also worried that the looming fiscal cliff could hurt consumer confidence, which is at a 5-year high. Others, like Lichtenstein, doubt that fiscal cliff debates are having a direct impact on consumer spending at this point in time.
I don't hear it outside of the political heads talking on television, and I certainly don't hear it at from consumers. It's an abstract concept. I don't anticipate it's going to have any impact at all.
And although it's still unclear whether or not America is in for a Scrooge Christmas, the NRF reports that sales figures from the holiday season thus far have been encouraging. Also, Rasmussen reports say that consumer confidence remains up. Samantha, Tyson, News Team Boulder. You wouldn't have to follow politics very closely to know that Big Bird is involved in the 2012 presidential election.
So Big Bird, how did you find out that your name had been mentioned in the debate?
Oh, I got 1 million tweets.
Oh, okay.
Or to have heard something about Romney's binders full of women.
That are going to be so anxious to get good workers, they're going to be anxious to hire women.
If you have a cell phone or computer, chances are you've heard the buzz. Would-be senior Walker Coggeshall is taking a semester off of classes to be a part of what he thinks is much bigger, the 2012 presidential campaign.
Yeah, it's difficult getting the youth vote out, especially 18 to 25-year-olds. They're busy with their lives, they're busy trying to get into college, trying to succeed in college, trying to work their way through college. So trying to convince them of the importance of their voice is difficult, and the fact that their vote actually does matter.
A whopping 92% of Internet users ages 18 to 29 use social networking sites according to a study done this summer by the Pew Internet in American Life project. Popularity in social media is the reason why, this year, both Democratic and Republican campaigns have used platforms like Twitter and Instagram in an effort to reach a group of people who have a history of political apathy.
There's no doubt that the campaigns are using these to micro-target younger voters.
Romney's "I Built This" campaign takes inspiration from an out-of-context comment on the part of President Barack Obama back in July when he attempted to make the case that successful businesses depend on both individual initiative and public infrastructure.
Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
The campaign became a social media phenomenon, appearing on sites such as YouTube and Twitter, with images of small business owners accompanied by the hashtag #IBuiltThis. President Obama has also launched a social media campaign called For All, where people write a campaign issue on their hand, place their hand over their heart, and take a picture. The pictures appear on Instagram with the hashtag For All. Notable faces such as Natalie Portman and Scarlett Johansson are among the For All campaign's supporters. According to Pew studies, 60% of Americans 18 and up use social media sites like Facebook or Twitter. 66 of those people have employed social media to express political thought. That means about 39% of voting-aged Americans have used social media for politics. Meanwhile, only 36% of social media users say that sites are important to them for keeping up with politics.
It's been proven that social media sites sometimes impact people's political views and involvement, but usefulness in motivating actual votes has not been determined.
Does it sway people's opinions? Does it change how they process information? Not so sure.
The study also shows that social media users ages 18 to 29 are notably more likely than people aged 30 and up to use social media to promote their political views. Samantha Tyson, News Team Boulder.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is publicly suggesting that the deadly attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya may be linked to al-Qaeda. This is the first acknowledgement of such a connection, and surprisingly, the State Department was quick to deny that Mrs. Clinton was confirming the link, saying not to read too much into her remarks. In NFL news, Peyton Manning will try to deliver some redemption for the Broncos in Sunday's matchup of two 500 teams. The Patriots outscored Denver twice in the playoffs last season by a combined 86-33, gaining more than 450 yards each game. But this year, the Patriots are off to their worst start in the last decade, while the Broncos beat Oakland 37-6 last week. Manning faced some difficulties earlier this season, but says that he will try to keep his recent progress going against longtime rival Tom Brady. Brady says he anticipates an offense very much the same to what Manning ran in Indianapolis, and also praises his opponent, calling him a phenomenal player. The Broncos and Patriots face off Sunday in New England at 2:25 p.m. Mountain Time. Nike has reportedly decided to terminate its contract with cyclist Lance Armstrong. In a statement, Nike said that overwhelming evidence shows that Armstrong misled them and participated in doping for years. Armstrong has also stepped down from his position as chairman of his cancer-fighting charity, Livestrong. Hello and welcome to News Team Weather. I'm Samantha Tyson. We'll start off by taking a look at the storm system taking off in the northeast. They call this kind of thing a nor'easter. This is day 33 of the NHL lockout. Today, both sides meet in Toronto to discuss the NHL's recent proposal. The game is part of a 4-match homestand that follows 3 consecutive losses for the Buffs. Junior Nicky Lindlow's 5 kills and 7 blocks were not enough to defeat the number 2 Oregon Ducks last Saturday. CU fell 3-0. Students, faculty, and staff get in free to Friday's match and Saturday's match against Washington with Buff One cards. Both matches will be broadcast on the Pac-12 network. For more information, visit cubuffs.com.